This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives, regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Good evening to you, esteemed viewer. Of course, the joy of the Lord is always our strength, and the fact that He lives in us. That's why we are confident in Him. That's why we smile, because we have an assurance that He lives in us. Now, today is a Wednesday. We want to thank God for today. We want to thank God for all that has happened, good and bad. All happens for His goodness. Here's a reason as to why things happen the way they happen. But of course, we celebrate with those who are celebrating different victories, and we console all those who have gone through different difficulties, challenges, those who have lost loved ones. We pray that the Almighty God will comfort you, because He's the comforter. He's the father to the fatherless. He's the husband to the widows. Therefore, at least we have our confidence in Him, because He knows it all. Now, we welcome you to Family Hour Wednesday edition, where we talk about finances and wealth. Edwin Austin Mukalazi is my name, and today we are introducing something very, very important, very, very interesting, and something that some of us don't really pay attention to, especially people who are into business, or if you want to start up your business. But there's something that very many people don't pay attention to. That is why it doesn't reflect in most of people's budgets, and that is branding. Do you ever know why branding is really important? You know, sometimes people say, hey, but that person is known everywhere, but why do they still advertise on TV? So we are yet to know why you still see them advertise. Of course, someone would ask, now, who doesn't know MTN, for example? Who doesn't know MTN in this country? Some people even call their phones MTN, but still, MTN advertises. Why do they still advertise? Why do they still have those billboards? Why do they have those promotions running on TV? Or maybe someone would say, now, who doesn't know Mirinda or Pepsi? That's what you think, and so you don't know why they still come back to advertise and make their brand into your head. So today we want to look at how branding is really essential, especially in your business growth. With us is Jonan Bwire. It's a pleasure having you this evening.
Thank you, Edwin. How did you penetrate today?
God's grace was sufficient.
Okay. That's good. In the morning it was something which was very weird. Okay, I would like to thank our viewers tonight who are viewing us on Family TV. You are doing a great thing to be on that set of television for this program, Family Finances and Wealth. I believe that God is going to do a great work in you, and you're gonna do great things in your life. People are viewing us today. I interacted with some of people, Edwin. Most of them are appreciating the program, and they think the program has done great work in them. And we continue to pray for them that it will not only be the work, but it will also be the action and the impact in the community they are doing. So, as he has said, my name is Jonan Bwire, and I'm here to talk more about branding. Yes.
Well, starting it from there, what is branding? As branding, of course, we've seen very many people talk about branding. There's also what called personal branding, business. I mean, everyone has their own interpretation of branding. But what is branding? When we talk about branding.
Yeah, when we talk about branding, it's just giving a meaning. Giving a meaning to a specific organization, to giving a meaning to a company, giving a meaning to your service, giving a meaning. So if we talk about branding generally, we are talking about how do you give a meaning to that something which you want to begin in form of a company, in form of a person, your personality. You give it a meaning by branding yourself. Today, if we come here and we ask, who is Edwin Mukalas? You get that? And someone doesn't know Edwin Mukalas, he will come and say, I want a man who has a round beard, who puts on half coats. He's always in the program 9 to. Automatically, they will take that person to Edwin Mukalas because you have branded yourself in that shape. So branding is mainly giving meaning to something you want to do. So if you want to do something, you think of anything in this world and you want it to have a meaning. Let me say, Pepsi, one of the biggest brand we have in the, not only in Uganda but in the world. Pepsi, to have a meaning, if you check the way it started, it did not start as a beverage to refresh, but it started as something else. If you go to those countries way back, but to give a meaning to Pepsi as a beverage which refreshes, they had to do what we call a brand. So branding is very, very important. You find that all companies with a brand, they get where they want to be. Actually, if you go to Uganda, Bureau of Standards, they will tell you that 23%, the recent statistics shows that 23% of all companies with good brand, all companies with good brand, they improve their market by 23% every year than those ones without good brands. So branding becomes very, very important. And Edwin, before we go more further, someone will say, what are the components we can make in a brand?
Because you've talked about good branding and bad branding. We really need to draw a difference between the two.
Before we draw a difference between the two, we would like to know what are the components which are in branding. So if we are talking about branding, we are talking about one, the components in branding, the company logo, the company name.
We have companies that don't even have logos.
Yes. We have the name, we have the logo, we have the voice. Do you know that companies have voices? We have the color. How many have I talked about?
Those are 4.
I've talked about 4. We can go with that for now.
Okay.
So every company must have a name. And if you're branding your company, must have a very simple name, which goes to even someone in the village. If he's asking, I want Pepsi, will not bite his tongue to call the name Pepsi. So we begin with the name. What name have you given to your company? Your branding, but what name have you given to your company to see that your company is doing the best? To even those one who didn't go to school. The problem we have with business people is they come up with very, very long names, very complicated names. Maybe they visited Kenya, maybe they visited America, maybe they visited Pakistan, and they come up with those names because someone there explained to them that this name is meaning this. But they are doing a business in Uganda, whereby that name in Uganda, no one knows about it. So I would urge our people who wants to begin business, one, if you want your business to be catchy, have a good name. If you're in Uganda, do a business in Luganda. Let the name be in Luganda.
Chosimbonanya.
Let the business be in the name of Luganda, so that people, when they read that name in Luganda, when you business moves from here to Arua, they will know that that is in Uganda. Everyone's eye will be attracted to that business.
What about people who name their business? For example, Jonan and the daughters and the sons Enterprises Limited, such names.
In Uganda,
Yes,
it is okay.
There are very many. And
Yeah,
I think that's the
that
commonest.
is very okay. Because sometimes we identify a name with our personalities.
Okay.
When I'm talking about the name does more, is very important. You see, our grandfathers, they were very wise. They could name the name Mukalas, and the name Mukalas would go from one generation to another generation.
True.
Today's.com, Mukalas, who came from the other generation, will avoid the name Mukalas
And the name of the children.
and name the children another name, which is an English name. So you find that the equation is not balancing, because these people used to name the names because they knew that if I'm working here and I'm doing good, and I stop working from this company, and my child grows up with my name, they will recognize that, hey, there is a Mukalas who used to work from this company, but he was a very good man. So I've seen the Mukalas coming, can do a good job. So a name is very important when we are branding business. People should know that we don't need long names. We don't need complicated names. We need simple, short name which can be pronounced by all. Check. You talked about MTN. It is just MT and is the word company. You get that? MTN is the word company. So why would they first look for the English complicated good word which is big and bulky to sound in the ears of the people? But they knew that we are setting up a company which is going to take over in the whole world. In the whole world, we have people who are good in English, and we have those who are not good in English. So we have to look for a name which will not be complicated for anyone. So a name over the business is something which is very important, and people should know that. Talk about the company logo. People do logos without knowing that logo is something which symbolizes and shows the company. If you put on the logo Family TV, everywhere you go and someone sees, will say that this person works from Family TV. I'll give an example. The jacket you put on when you go to get news outside, even if it doesn't have the word Family TV, but the logo which is there, it will show that this is Family TV. So these logos are not for decoration, but they give a meaning to the company, that the company needs to sell in the community. So you must have a catchy logo. Like when you're moving outside, very many people will be interested to look at that. Hey, the car has passed. Which car is this? This person has passed with this jacket. Who is this? Where does he work? So when the logo is catchy, it will attract people's eye to come and watch that. So we also have, I said,
the other one is the voice.
the voice. What's the voice of Family TV?
Enriching lives.
Enriching lives. Everywhere you go, you will say enriching lives. You get that? So the voice you put behind, the slogan you use in your business also makes people to get attracted to that business. So it will also give you a definition on where your journey is moving to. You get that? If you say enriching the world, your theme, your goal, your purpose will be on enriching the world. Because it is your voice which is ringing in the back. How are you going to enrich the world? You keep asking those questions. You keep fighting to enrich the world. You keep knowing how are your program enriching the world. So the sound, the voice behind your name does a great thing also.
Does it mean that this is what people associate your brand with, your product with?
Yes. I don't want to go to politics, but I'll give an example. There's something which came up, a force which came up in politics, with a slogan which catched the whole Uganda. You get that? Everyone was thinking to think that. They even sought to register that force as a party, but they failed. Because even the government realized that this is a catchy one in the community. So they went ahead to register it first. When these people came to register
as an
this
elderly
one,
group.
it had already gone. So they had to look for something else because this one, the catchy one, had already gone. So when we are looking for a slogan, a voice, it must be very attractive to the people, and that is the brand we are building.
So that means every business,
Yes.
every serious business should have at least that slogan that
Must.
they must that
have
they associate with
it
it with.
Yes, must have that voice they associate with,
Okay.
because it is what will pull the crowd. Before you talk anything, you talk about family TV, and the other people will reply, enriching the world. You get that? When you talk about, let me say, Soroma, what did they say?
Soroma,
Yes,
I have forgotten. There's
something like nurture something.
Yeah.
So when you talk about them, every company which is growing, you find that there is a voice, which they are pursuing to get there. Then talk about the color. When we're beginning this program, you wanna say that if we put here green, that's what?
It should be dissolved.
We are all going to look green. We are all going to look green. Meaning, Family TV has the color green in the background. You get that? It is color green. That's a brand. So green is part of the colors of Family TV. When you put anything green, it will distort everything, because it is the color in the background. So color also plays a big role.
Like we have purple,
We have purple,
gold,
gold,
as
and
our
all those.
colours. Yeah.
Let me talk about Peps when I'm concluding that. Peps has very many products,
Yeah.
but it did not start with all those products. It started with one product called Peps Cola.
Cola.
But after seeing the need in the community, they wanted to build a brand like any other beverage company. So they came up with Mirinda. They came up with 7-Up. They came up with
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew.
Do the dew.
Do the dew. You get that? So all those, they are trying to build a brand which will catch or attract the community, or which will attract the consumer. When you check, you go to the supermarket to buy peppers, it has a pepper
Yeah.
on it. How much is peppers in the supermarket?
I think the smallest is 1,000, then
1,000?
1,500.
What about if you go to hotel, like 5-star hotel in Kampala?
I think it depends, but about 5,000 or plus.
5,000 plus. If you go in that hotel today and you sit in your chair, then you order for peps to come, and the person who brings that peps, the bottle is sealed, but he comes when the label that the paper is not there. Will you take that peps?
No.
Why?
I have no confidence
It
that
is
it's the
sealed.
brand I requested.
It is sealed, and you are seeing that is peps. Even the cover is sealed. Will you take it?
No.
Will you pay for it?
No.
Well, you will urge.
Yeah.
You will automatically tell the other person, take back and bring me
The one with the label.
the one with the label. You get that? So that is the power of branding. Because it is just a paper. it has not, even you're going to take that soda and throw away without knowing that the paper was there or was not there. But
sometimes you don't even pay attention to read what is written on
but
that.
the fact that he has brought the other bottle without a paper sealed on it, you will say, no, please take away this, get me the Pepsi I want. Because I don't trust that this is Pepsi. That's what we call branding. You have your product identified by the consumer who is going to take this product. And once the consumer identified the product, he will take the product and you make money. And you make money because you have branded your product. It doesn't look like the others. You get that? You not have to talk many things for you to sell. Like those ones who are selling things on the street, drinks on the street. They have to talk a lot of things. You drink this, you'll have energy, you do this, you do this, you do this. So you will not have to talk a lot because it is Pepsi Cola. It is Pepsi Cola you are taking. So it will advertise for it itself.
Now, I'm seeing the beauty of branding and how serious branding is. You know, sometimes we attach meaning to some of these things unknowingly.
Yes.
For instance, when you go to maybe a refreshing center,
Yes.
you tell them, no, I want a Mirinda, fruity, even specific.
Yes.
And then they'll tell you, no, we have Pepsi. And I want Mirinda.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't know that you're only associating with the brand because that is how they have labeled it. Because assuming they got the Pepsi and put it in a Mirinda bottle, you still take it.
You will still take it.
But you want to associate with the other brand.
Yes.
And you know, sometimes I think this is an eye-opener to people who are doing business, that branding is really very, very important in business.
Yes.
People should know you for something. So we've had very many slogans. Like Namirembe Guest House has a slogan, $1 million view. So that is what we expect to see when we go there.
You have talked about that $1 million view. Do you know what it means? Because it is on a hill of Kampala and it is showing all the people in Kampala.
Let's take a short commercial break. When we return, we are going to continue with this discussion. Now, if you're a business owner, please stick to Church of Uganda Family TV, because this is something that is very, very important, especially if you want your business to grow. Welcome back from that commercial break. We are looking at branding and why it is essential in business growth. We have just looked at some of the components of a brand. We looked at a logo and why it is important. We looked at a name, we looked at a voice and colors. Before we get any further, Mr. Bwire,
Yes.
there is something that grows with time. We've seen people who, for example, in the beginning, get excited. You know, some businesses don't have formal structures.
Yes.
That maybe they have a board that approves some of these things. So someone sits back, they get attracted, or maybe they copy a logo. For example, as our logo looks on
Yes.
TV, so someone also wants to start a TV and then they admire a logo like that. They do it and then they work with this logo for about 5 years. Then they find it boring and they want to change, so they change instantly. They don't even come back to inform the customers, like clients, that we changed. You just wake up in the morning and you see they have changed the colors, they have changed the logo, I mean they have changed the slogan, people have changed everything and you don't even know. Sometimes you think it's a new company that has taken over. What is the effect of this, especially if you're not consistent in your branding?
If you're not consistent in your branding, you lose the clients. And this happens especially when you start something and you fail to serve the purpose of your business. I'll give an example. If today you started a shop and in that shop it has your name, it has your logo, it has everything of yours, and you employ a girl or a boy who comes in this business and begin to abuse the clients, this building is yours. Every customer who comes will say that shop, the attendants are arrogant. So you'll be associated with the name arrogance. So when the clients begin to associate you with the name arrogance, it will begin to affect your business. Even the selling will go down. And you know we make business to sell. So if you're not selling in the business, it means you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So you'll be forced to change the logo, to change even the name, because you want to show that you sold your business to another person.
So that's what we call rebranding.
You sold the business to another person, so you are rebranding the business for the other client who came to that business and he was abused, to change his memory that this business is no longer the other business where you were abused, but this is a changed business. But it affects the client. If you are not serious to your vision, still you come back and say, my business has failed. Those are the people you find at the end of the day selling their businesses. But if you have a good brand, before you do anything to have a brand, you have to sit down and know what are the elements I want in my brand. What are the elements I need in my brand? So if you know the elements you need in your brand, you'll automatically do something which attracts other people and which other people may not do, because you sat down and you've seen that this is the brand you want. And if you do it, copy and paste will be very hard for other people to do it. That's why we say that a brand must be unique, must have unique features. So even if these people of graphics come and play around with it, they will not be able to interpret what is there, because it has the unique features, which unique features can be explained by the owner of the brand. So we also talk about something like brand identity. The brand identity, it takes the things we've been talking about, the logo, the name, the what. You get that? So the identity also remains yours. So if you have the brand which is unique, you have the brand which has an identity. An identity means even if you draw that logo without a name, without any word, people will see it and say, this is Family TV. So you create that identity of Family TV everywhere you go. Without any name, people will identify that this is Family TV. talk about the phones. If you're talking about the phones, the phone companies, if you're buying any phone right now, it will have identity built within the phone. You get that? So once you put on the phone like this, it will bring the other logo, and someone will say, yes, I bought the right phone. And those phones which are fake, which are fake, once you switch on that phone like this, you switch it on, it will bring the identity which is wrong, and after a period of time, it will cover with the logo,
the original brand
which you are buying now, the fake one you're buying. So they also know that they cannot put the other future, because the other future is very unique. Can I talk of any phone like iPhone? Give an example of an iPhone. If you're putting on an iPhone, it has a logo of iPhone which comes in the white color. All these people who are trying to make a duplicate iPhone, if you put it on, it will come with a logo which is black. Black in color, but is also a logo of iPhone. You get that? Meaning they cannot put the other logo, but they can put a black one. That means that even if the iPhone comes to sue these people, they will say, your logo is white, ours is black. So there is a difference between this and this. And even if you also buy that iPhone and you go back to the iPhone shop, they will tell you this is fake one. You do not buy our product. Our logo is white. You bring the logo which is black. So anything you are doing to brand yourself, you must be unique. Let's talk about the personalities, like the people. You see, when we are doing business begins with us. The way people see us is the way they take us. So you building your brand, and you're a kind of person in the community. Let me say, I will give an example. If you have long hair, you don't comb your hair. You wake up, your hair is very long, and people will call you Mavid. You get that? Because that's the brand you have built. Maybe you have disorganized beards, and you're moving. People, they don't know your name. You will find them saying Malevu. There's a man who is Malevu. You get that? You're a smart person moving in a village. You find people saying the gentleman who sleeps there. So people take us the way we brand ourselves, and that is how exactly business works. That's why you find that today the young people or people who are looking for employment, when they are going to ask for a job, they will make sure that they put on the suit. Even if it doesn't match with him. But he will make sure he puts on that suit. Or even if he doesn't have that suit, he will go and borrow that suit to put on. To convince the other person that the person you are seeing is the person you're going to be seeing in your company. But after being given a job, you find him now, the real person comes when he has not tucked in, when he has not combed, comes in slipper, and you will be seeing the real person now, the real brand of the person you employed. And because all of them were smart on that day, you didn't know who has a better brand. But today, the companies which are genuine, they are moving beyond papers. You get that? They are moving beyond papers. If Edwin Mukalas has asked for a job, they will go on social media to find out how is Edwin outside there.
The Edwin who is not here.
Yes, who is not in the suit here, who is not answering question here. How is Edwin outside there? How does he behave on Facebook? How does he behave on Twitter? How does he behave on... They want to know that. Because they will come on the papers, you have them. And some of them, you know, even at the university, they copy. Some of them cheated the examination in Form 4 and Form 6. So the marks cannot work right now. What works is your brand. So people should learn how to brand. Branding is not only in companies. Even us, we brand ourselves and we attract people to come and buy. Let me give an example. You may move somewhere and someone just gets attracted by seeing you because you are smart, you're moving well, you are organized, and will ask, who is that person? Can I associate with you? Can I greet you, sir? You get that? We have some people who are doing well in branding themselves than even the managers.
Yeah.
You get that? A visitor will come at the station and will assume that the person he has seen is the manager, being surprised to see the manager is a different person. Because of this one his brand is making. So branding is very, very important.
We also have people who are hired because of their brands.
Go to motivation speakers. In town here, you find them dressed very well in necktie. And if they come to define a business, you think that these people they finished everything. Yet they don't have anything in nature. But their brand is to make sure to attract the people's eyes, to see that the person talking to them with a lot of confidence, he has all. Go to these companies which are selling
network business,
which are selling things. Leave first leave those ones of network business. Go to these companies which are employing young boys to hawk things around. They will move with the flaskers. They will move with the basins.
Plastic basins.
They will move with cups. You get that? But they tell them, put on a necktie. When you go to that company, tell them that I'm the sales promotion seller. So they come and tell you I'm the sales promoter. Not a hawker, but a sales promoter. Because it's
they
the
even
brand.
give you a posh name to use.
It is the brand they are investing in the other person to show that you are going to corporate people to believe in you, that you are selling genuine product. You have to be smart. You have to put on a necktie. You have to speak some English to show those people that you know what you are doing. Go to this one you were talking about, the network.
Network.
Yes, they sit in expensive hotels here in Kampala.
And those convincing you come in expensive suits.
In expensive suits here in Kampala. And they convince you to come here in Kampala, and you come. After joining the business, you begin saying, where is my money? When is it coming? And the things is not coming, because that's the language they are trained to do that business, because their business stands on the network. You bring the person, you earn. You bring the other person, I earn. You bring the other person, I earn. The more people, the more money you bring, the more commission which goes to your account. So branding is very, very important.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you look at labels, for example, I'll still refer to maybe the Pepsi label.
Yes.
You realize that there is a statement down that this is a registered trademark of PepsiCo International. Why is it important to formalize your brand?
It is very important to formalize your brand, because if you formalize your brand, you even get more clients. Like today, if you are dealing in beverages, any brand which is not formalized, they will find it on the market and they will cancel your license. Actually, they will not give you a license because you have not formalized your brand. And if they find you on the market, they will arrest you because it is not legal to sell that product. They have not tested it. And all countries came up with the standard office to check and to see that their people, everything their people consume must be in the right order. That's why they came up with a standard office. Meaning, to sell something to someone in that country, the country is responsible for the life of the citizens. So you must sell something which is in accordance to the law of the country. So that's why you must register. You must be legal when you are selling something, because you are selling today.
Maybe giving an example, there was a time where we had people from other denominations using the registered trademarks of Church of Uganda
Yes.
as their clerical attires.
Yes.
So, Church of Uganda comes out to issue a notice that these are the registered trademarks
Yes.
of clerical attires.
Yes.
So, I think it also gives you an opportunity to always seek for legal support in case someone is violating your brand, or maybe they're using counterfeit.
Yes.
But in case you've not registered your brand, then
Do you know why they were associating to Church of Uganda? Because they knew that in every district, in every sub-county, they are clients of Church of Uganda. So they wanted to associate with the trademark of Church of Uganda or the logo of Church of Uganda to sell their product, because Church of Uganda is one of the trusted legal entity in the country. So when someone sees a logo of Church of Uganda on something he's selling, he'll say, Church of Uganda, this is right thing to take. This is the right thing to consume. At the end of the day, if Church of Uganda has not given them the authority, and this product makes harm to the individual, Church of Uganda will be answerable because of that. So that's why it had to come in to stop those ones who were using the law to end that.
Well, as we wind up this discussion, we looked at, there's something you talked about, good branding and bad branding. I want us to end with the difference between good branding and bad branding, because it's all branding. I mean, me have come up with my colors, whether they don't match or whether they crash or not. But I've come up with my colors. I've come up with my slogan. I've come up with, my voice. I've come up with my name. I've come up with my logo. So what brings the difference between the brands?
What brings the difference between the brands? One, a good brand helps the client to make a decision on the choice of the product he's going to take. When we are talking about Pepsi Cola, and someone gets somewhere and asks, which water does Pepsi Cola?
Nirvana. And Aquafina.
Yes. I want that water in the community. He'll be identified with the brand. So it helps our consumers to have a decision on which product am I going to consume. That's why you find that today, as we are talking right now, there are some people who have made it a choice that they will not go to other televisions to watch the soaps, to watch all those kind of things. They are going to stay on family TV because there is a program which comes for them to shape and to build their money. So they will stay because of that brand. So that is a choice which is made by the client. Secondly, a good brand will help identify the uniqueness which is in the product. And in that uniqueness which is in the product, it will help more sales than the other. You get that? I'll give an example. In Uganda, there is the water which came with a name which was very complicated. You get that? But they had to associate themselves until when they associated themselves to the local musician here. Today, if you check, is one of the cheapest water which makes money.
People don't even know the name of the
They don't know the name of the brand.
They call it the name of the artist.
The name of the artist. So it also helped the uniqueness, that uniqueness of selling in a community to touch the consumer that this is your product. So when someone goes anywhere to buy water for 500, we'll speak that one, because it has become a household name for cheap water. Today, if someone goes to buy expensive water, there is a name associated to that water. And all corporate companies, all big people, everywhere, they will be associated with that water.
True.
And there's a name where they go, I want that water. So it has also become a household name for that water. As we speak now, I'll give an example of one of the schools which announced with Family TV, Seroma. If you go to Seroma, there is something they have put to catch and attract the consumers.
Heads but not tails.
You get that? To attract the consumers. Heads but not tails. You see their students, the way they put on. So every student would like to be associated with such cleanness. If they just show that picture and the student is watching a television, will say, Mommy, I also like to go to that school.
To dress up like those students.
To dress up like those people. Because they have made that brand that our student looks like this. So the brand helps you to bring the uniqueness from other product, and the client will see you as someone who is very important. Then the brand will also, a good brand will also help you to grow your money. If you don't have a good brand, you will not get the clients. Many people will not be associated to you. But if you have a good brand, it will cultivate your income to grow. Because you have very many clients, you have very many people who come to buy, and if you sell, you'll be making money and you'll be growing. So brand helps growth of the company. If you have a good brand, your company will grow. Now, what if you have a wrong brand? One, you get negative within the community, the consumers. All people will not associate with that brand. There was 2 water when we were growing up, which were named in 2 mountains of Uganda. Both of them were competing. You get that? Both of them were competing. But one water beat the other just because of a bottle. The other one was selling even more water than this one. This one 500 mils, the other one 650 mils. But the other one had a crooked kind of bottle. This one had a simple bottle where everyone will feel round, beautiful bottle, attractive bottle. This bottle was not attractive. So most people came to buy this water. The other people even reduced this water to 500 when these people were at 800 or 1000. But still people bought the other water until the other company falls. So if you don't have the right brand, you will not sell, and you will lose clients, you will lose customers, you fail in business.
Give us your closing remarks as we wind up with this discussion.
As we wind up with this discussion, I'll ask our viewers tonight, if you're thinking about growing your money, if you're thinking about development, if you're thinking about how to make it in life before you end your life on this earth, you need to build a brand. Brand begins with you. Be a brand for yourself. Be a brand in your house. Be a brand where you work from. Be a brand in everything you do. And after building your personal brand, build a business brand which will attract people to come and buy from you. Money is not just picked. Money, you cannot get it from a tree. But money, you're going to grow it from the things we've been talking about. Brand is one of it. So build a good brand, have a better brand, you're going to sell and you're going to grow your finances.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Bwire, and to your viewer, thank you so much. I've learned that it all starts with you as an individual. Grow your personal brand, because we've seen people who go to businesses of people who have grown their personal brand. So someone says, let me go to so-and-so's business because they have grown their brands as people, as trustworthy people, as people whose integrity is really tried and tested and proven to be the one that is needed for a particular service. So start with yourself. Don't be this person who on social media abuses people, and then you expect people to come to your restaurant simply because you're advertising it after abusing people. People will think that that is exactly what you do in your restaurant. Therefore, grow your personal brand and then grow your business brand as well. Thank you so much for watching once again. Edwin Austin Mukalas is my name. I've worked with Jonah Jal, Owakabi, Momoza, and from the entire team, we wish you a blessed night.